This is exciting. There we go.
Some familiar faces.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Lots of people joining us today. This is fantastic. I am so excited. All right. Welcome, welcome. We're
Ashley,
going to
are you getting tired after, on day 3 out of 4, Ashley?
I will feel more tired tomorrow, probably. I planned it this time so that I would have no sessions on Sunday so that I could relax on Sunday.
Good. You've earned it.
Thank you. And if you can go ahead and just mute yourself for now as you're coming in, and then if we need to unmute, we can do that as we go. And more people coming. Fantastic. Yeah, say hi in the chat. Let us know where you are watching from. Hi, Miss Lisa. And is it Lava? Please tell me if I'm, yeah. Oh, yeah. From Maryland. All right. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Say hi, Lavanda. Oh, I've seen you in the group. Yes, yes. You're getting a lot out of the summit, really interacting and commenting. I love that. I love those engaged participants. So that's fantastic. Awesome. Beth's here, Melissa's here, Patty's here, Texas, Florida. Yeah, no worries. If you want to keep your video off, that's totally okay. I understand. We have a lot of parents in our summit too that are wrangling kids in the background and all kinds of things going on. So fantastic. Well, I want to make sure that Xavier has as much time as possible to speak with you all today. So I really want to honor his time and your time. So I'm going to go ahead and sort of get us started and keep letting people in as they come in. So this is super exciting. We are on day 3 of the Teachers Make Money Online Summit. And this is a super special live event that is available to anyone who is registered for the summit. We have the CEO and co-founder of Koala here with us today, Xavier. Thank you so much, Xavier.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me, Ashley. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, and I'm going to pretty much go ahead and let him just take over, tell us a little bit about himself, and get right into his presentation because, like I said, I want him to have as much time as possible to talk with us. So go ahead.
Sounds great. Let's jump right to it. Can everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, so where do I start? I'm very honored to be here. Thank you, Ashley, for having me. I know that you've all had some fantastic presentations in the last 3 days that were very practical and hands-on. This presentation is slightly different. It is more of an analysis of market trends of the space that we are in and how it's evolving. And I wanted to share those insights with you. So today I'm going to start with a quick intro about myself. Then I'm going to talk about the passion economy. What is the passion economy? And the rise of the independent teacher in the passion economy. A little bit of hard truth that we need to talk about, that it's not for everyone. I'll talk about passive and active income because this summit is about teachers making money online and why I believe in the teacher passion economy. All right. If at any time you have any question in the chat, I'm going to try to keep an eye out. Feel free to interrupt, keep it interactive. I don't want to bore you to death. The more interactive, the less likely you are to fall asleep. So please shoot your questions.
Great. Thank you.
Of course. So my name is Xavier. I am from France, as you can hear from my heavy French accent. That's for some reason not going away. I was born in France and I moved to the US, to California 11 years ago, and I never came back to France. And I wanted to share a little bit about me to explain why I have a little bit of credibility in this space and why I deserve your attention for the next 20 minutes. So I I co-founded Koala with a very good friend of mine 4 years ago. And Koala is a platform exclusively for independent online teachers to make money online. We're the winner of the Best Virtual Classroom 2022. And our mission is to make independent online teachers financially successful so that they can one day buy a house doing what they love. We're not doing this out of pure selflessness to make the world a better place. We're doing this because if Koala teachers are financially successful, we are financially successful. It's that simple. The reason I mention this is that as the co-founder of Koala, I've had, I would say, at least 1,000 conversations with teachers in the last 4 years, with independent online teachers. And as the CEO of Koala, I have pitched 356 investors in the last 4 years to raise money for Koala. Maybe 330 of those conversations turned out to be no, just for your information. But I'm talking with investors who look at our market from a very high level and they have good understanding of the overall disruptions in the space. And I've learned from those conversations with them. What is the passion economy? Quick question for you. Is this a term that you hear for the first time today, or are you familiar with this term, passion economy? Could you please let me know in the chat? First time, Chantel says first time. Ashley says it was a new term for me. First time for Amma, first time for Mary. Lava, first time. New term, first time. Heard it before, but don't know much about it. Heard it just a bit, but haven't used it myself, says Liz. Super helpful. So a good way to understand what passion economy is to look at gig economy. The gig economy may be a term that you're more familiar with. It's those jobs, those short-term contracts that give a lot of freedom to workers. It's Uber driver, TaskRabbit, delivery men and women. It's gig economy is heavily commoditized. It's fantastic work opportunities, but it's easier to automate. And a big chunk of gig economy jobs may get automated over the next 20 years. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, you have the passion economy. The definition of the passion economy is the empowerment of people who generate revenue by monetizing their creativity and their individuality with an audience. As the word says, passion economy, it's people who live off their passion. Examples that you know are YouTubers, people on Twitch, on Patreon, on Koala is also a platform of the passion economy. Teachers pay teachers, people who create content on TPT to sell to other teachers. You could consider them from the passion economy. Emphasis on passion, creativity, and individuality. Whereas on the gig economy side, an Uber driver, for instance, if I ask you, do you remember the name of your last Uber driver? Maybe not. And that's a good question, because it's not always clear if something falls within gig economy or passion economy. But asking yourself, do you remember the name of? If the answer is no, that means that there is not that much emphasis on individuality, and it falls within gig economy. And it's hard to automate, whereas gig economy is easier to automate. And absolutely, Patty, I agree with you. You are all part of the passion economy. A teacher is a very good example of the passion economy. So the reason I mentioned this are two things. The first one is that in the passion economy, often you're responsible to build an audience. You are able to build an audience. While in the gig economy, there's a marketplace that aggregates demand and then matches the supply with demand. For instance, Uber. The passion economy, you often need to learn yourself how to find your own audience. The second reason I mentioned this is that, as I said, I have pitched 356 investors. And I can tell you one thing, investors are very excited about the passion economy. It's a brand new disruption in the space, and it's growing very fast. In the last few years, there've been the rise of a new, very important segment in the passion economy, independent teachers. This is happening because there is a rare alignment of stars of several phenomena that you are aware of, for the most part. The pandemic, of course, growth in homeschooled students that has been happening steadily for the last 20 years, the Chinese restrictions on tutoring in September of 2021, causing the huge layoffs at VIP Kid, Palfish, and the Great Resignation. The Great Resignation is this phenomenon that happened post-pandemic in many industries of workers saying, hey, you know what? I actually liked not having to commute every day, sleeping more, spending more time with my kids, with my family, and having the freedom to work from anywhere I want. Maybe I'm going to reconsider my career choice. So the rare combination of events has allowed the rise of a brand new market of freelance online independent teachers. You've also had, with that third star here, you've had a lot of people who used to work with VIP Kid who were hurt, of course, by this sudden disruption, but who thought after all, maybe I don't want to give away 30% of my income to a marketplace. So I don't know exactly what is your profile to do what you do, whether you're an independent teacher, whether you're a coach, or whether you're you have another role in this space. But this recent disruption represents a brand new market for those of you who are coaches, for instance, and it's an opportunity. It's a business opportunity, because when you have a disruption, you have a lot of pain points, and when there's a pain point, there's an opportunity. And at Koala, at my company, we're certainly making the bet that this market is here to stay and grow. And I think the success of this summit testifies of this trend. Now, a little bit of a reality check here. Being an online independent teacher is not for everyone. You need to figure out how much to charge, how to invoice parents, how to find curriculum, how to schedule classes, which platform to use. So there is a lot of new headaches, and of course finding an audience, as I was mentioning earlier. So there's a lot of new problems that you need to solve when you become an independent online teacher. So while it's more rewarding, it's also not for the faint of heart. Now, at Koala, what we aim to do is to offer tools to help online independent teachers of the passion economy solve those problems. Some of those problems, not all of those problems, but we're doing the best we can. Do we have any questions so far?
I have to say that I love that you shared how many investors you've been pitching and how many people said no, because that was something that we talked about in one of the other, when we were talking about imposter syndrome and talking about sharing your services and like promoting yourself, like people are going to say no, like that's just part of business. So
yeah. Personally, I mean, I could talk about this for a long time, but personally, I was just an engineer before, and it was not part of my skill set of to be able to pitch investors. So I really had to get out of my comfort zone for that. At some point, you stop caring. At some point when you start hear no, 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 no again and again, and you persist, you just improve your pitch, and it's a kind of a psychological switch that you need to flick. And if you want to talk about this with me, I'm really happy if I can help out in any way about mastering rejection. I'm an expert of being rejected, so
we'll have to do another one on that for sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
We have someone asking about the slide before this. Is it Da? I'm going to pronounce your name probably wrong. I apologize. Dow, feel free to unmute if you want. I saw you had your hand up. Was asking about the slide before this.
Before this one? What was the slide just before this?
I think it's this one. Yeah.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's take, for instance, a teacher that used to teach with VIP Kid. Mm-hmm. And when you teach with VIP Kid, you were given a script, a curriculum, you were matched with students, you just had to populate how many, what was your availability, and you were being just matched, and it was pretty hands off, and you just show up, you do your class, and that's it. Mm-hmm. When you move from this job to becoming independent, moving to the freelance side of the spectrum, you need to figure out all those questions that were being handled before by VIP Kid. So how much should you charge for your classes? How do you invoice parents? You live in the US, they live in China, they only pay with WeChat. What system should you use? Do you need to create a Stripe account, or things like this? What curriculum should you be using? Because VIP Kid used to provide this curriculum. How to schedule your classes? Do you use calendar? Do you use Calendly? Do you just chat on the phone or chat on an email? And which platform to use to teach? Should you be using Zoom? Is it the right tool for kids? Or I think this is what I mean by this slide. Now, does this clarify? Does it answer your question?
And I'll add on, as someone who used to work for VIP Kid, that's where I got my start teaching online was with VIP Kid. And so on the one hand, it's, it was a good place for me to start. It was a good stepping stone into teaching online, but along with them doing all those things also meant control over how much I teach, how much I get paid, when I work, how long I, focus on any given content. So those were some of the reasons that encouraged me to move on my own.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know you used to work for VIP Kid. It's super helpful.
Yeah.
Super relevant. And Adele says, that's where I got my start too. Great start, but I wanted to do it my way and find my own students. I had a hard time gaining students from VIP Kid. Yep. So here's an example. This is the conference name is Teachers Make Money Online. So I wanted to give you a couple examples of active income and passive income that you can make on Koala. Koala is a platform. I'm not going to do a full demo of Koala, but Koala is a child-friendly platform to teach kids online. Much more child-friendly than Zoom. So it has an embedded browser where you can open things like WordWall, and it's fully interactive. You can drag and drop things. It's very kinesthetic. So here, and you see Caitlin here is a teacher who teaches with Koala for a couple of years. So she teaches classes on Koala, and she can invoice the parents of her students through Koala, and there's a financial dashboard that allows her to visualize the money that she's making. Every time the parents pay the invoice, it adds to this dashboard, and she can visualize how much money she's making. So this is active income. Of course, Caitlin only makes money when she's actively teaching, and I'm not teaching you anything here. But there's also a way to make passive income on Koala. We have a system of a marketplace similar to Teachers Pay Teachers. So any teacher can publish content and sell it on our marketplace. The marketplace looks like this. you have content from any subject, and you can publish content in any subject in any format, and then set the price of your choice, and you keep 85% of the sales, and the Koala platform takes 15%, 1-5. So that's a way to make passive income, or income in your sleep, as was mentioned by a previous presenter during this summit. So that's passive income. Of course, you shouldn't kid yourself about passive income. There's a little bit of a utopia around passive income, that you're going to do a little bit of work and then suddenly you're going to be chilling in Hawaii with a little cocktail with an umbrella in it, and money is going to increase in your bank account. It's usually not the way it works. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of iterative work, and yeah, it's much more active than people think when they say passive income. And we also have a financial, another different tab in the financial dashboard that you can have if you get a Koala account, and you'll see, how much money you're making from your sales on the marketplace. Adele is saying passive income is only passive after the hard work has been put in. Yes, absolutely. It's well put. And Joanne says, yes, students love the Koala site, but they wanted to jump the fence and play with the cows. Lol. Yes, that's right. Those little cows behind me, those little chubby cows, kids love them. Why do we believe in the teacher passion economy? Because, the argument could be made that maybe the future of education is gig economy, or maybe the future of teaching is an AI teacher, and we don't need teachers. Well, we don't believe that is true. And here are the reasons. When you're a parent and your kid needs help in literacy, math, or any topic, English, your first reaction is to ask your friend, hey, you had a tutor last year that really helped your daughter. Would you recommend her? So parents will refer teachers. They will not refer platforms. They will not say, oh yeah, go on this marketplace and just type math teacher. No, they refer a person, because they know that their student interacts with the individuality of a teacher. And that's what makes a class successful and learning effective. Teachers do not want to give away 30% of their income, so they quickly disintermediate gig economy marketplaces. That's something I learned from investors much smarter than me. It's really tough to build a marketplace from a purely business standpoint. It's really tough to build a marketplace in any space, actually, because you end up getting disintermediated. And it makes a lot of sense. Teachers start by joining a marketplace, they meet a few students, and then they get off of the marketplace and they keep teaching those students without paying the 30% cut. And that's why we really believe that the passion economy is going to win. And finally, good teachers do not want to read scripts because they know each kid is different. That's a personal conviction that we have with my co-founder, Ben. As you may know, Koala, we started by working with kids with dyslexia, who have a different learning profile, who are more kinesthetic, more multisensory. And we've come to realize that with big gig economy marketplaces, you have to find one model fits all. So one set of scripts, one curriculum for every kid, but that's not how kids work. Every kid will learn differently. You have kids on the spectrum, you have kids with dyslexia, you have kids that have attention issues, and the only way to teach those kids is the brain of a teacher with the experience of a teacher and the empathy of a teacher. That cannot be automated. I hope this was helpful. And if you want more information about the Koala teacher community, you can join it by typing Koala Teachers Family on Facebook, and you can find me there if you have any questions.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you, Xavier. The Facebook Facebook group is wonderful. Awesome. Lots of supportive teachers in there, lots of resources. I love that you guys do coffee chats. If you want to share a little bit more about the coffee chat and how you're involved with the community there, I would love that.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. We quickly realized that the best way to build the best teaching platform in the world is to simply listen to teachers. It's actually that simple. So we try to do coffee chats at least once a week with the whole teacher community. It's free, everybody can join, and we brainstorm on how we can make Koala better. We have a fantastic community that's been extremely helpful, and every 2 weeks we publish a new version of Koala that integrates feedback from teachers to keep making it better.
Absolutely. I love people are saying in the chat, really how you're involved, asking teachers what they want and need, that you listen and deliver. And you're always making updates to the platform based on what we say we need.
Yes, we try.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the comments in the chat.
Yes. And you have some time to stay for questions and discussion, correct?
Absolutely. I'm all yours.
Fantastic. And Xavier, would it be okay if I go ahead and share my Koala link in case anybody wants to check it out?
Yeah, of course. You should.
And I do support educators. I work, if you sign up with Koala and you need help, I'm always available to help people check it out and kind of figure out how to teach their lessons on the platform. So I'm strictly using Koala Go now. So I was actually wondering if you might talk for a minute or explain the difference between Koala 3D and Koala Go.
Yes, absolutely. We started by launching Koala 3D. That was our first product, and it's really great. It had a lot of successes, but also we realized that we aimed very high in terms of how demanding it is in terms of device capabilities and Wi-Fi bandwidth. And we think it's very powerful, and we still have a lot to learn from the successes of Koala 3D, but it was never our intention to only serve, the top of the pyramid and only wealthy kids with good devices and good Wi-Fi connections. We're kind of a little bit in a bubble in the United States. We have access to very good Wi-Fi, but we want to be able to serve kids all over the world. So it's once again, it's not pure selflessness. It's not pure, I'm a good guy, I want to help everybody. It's also a market size aspect. When you build a product that's for the elite customers, etc., you only end up serving a very small market. So we want to build a product that's more inclusive and also that has less friction. Koala 3D was very much like a video game, like Minecraft. So we built Koala Go. It runs in the web. It's just one click and you're in. So less friction to get in, and we're aiming to make it run on every single device in the world, touchscreen, iPads, connected potato should be able to run it. That's the vision. So I recommend that you use Koala Go because this is where we're investing our energy to right now.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying with the Koala 3D. Some of my issues were around connectivity, right? Like you're exactly, not everybody has the same level of internet connectivity, especially if they're on Wi-Fi. So, but I have had no issues on Koala Go. So that's fantastic. So let's see. I just saw in the chat, Miss Beth was wondering if you have ever been a teacher before.
Yes, absolutely. I was not a teacher before starting Koala, but we realized that there's only so much you learn by talking to a teacher in terms of pain points. And the best way to really build the best product in the world is to be your own user. And suddenly you realize some things that you've never known before. So everybody in the Koala team is expected to be teaching, and me including me. I teach a French class every Friday morning. So an hour ago, I was teaching my French class in Koala Go. It's a little girl in Estonia, a 9-year-old girl in Estonia who's learning French with me.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that. Let's see. Other questions. Let's see.
Does Go work with Chromebooks? Yes, absolutely. Koala
Yes.
Go works with Chromebooks.
And it looks like, let's see. I don't know. My chat is being a little weird at the moment. Wondering at like user, in terms of, is it easier to use? Kind of, there's some questions I think about that. And I would say definitely Koala Go, I think is easier to learn, easier to use than Koala 3D.
Right. Yes, absolutely. That was one of the goal when launching Koala Go is to make it as easy as possible. I'm sure we still have room for improvements. We're far from being perfect, but we're trying to make it as easy as possible. And if
Yes.
you want a training,
Mhm.
let me see if I can send you the link of our Facebook group. Facebook group is a good place to go because we do those webinars, those coffee chats, as mentioned by Ashley earlier, and during the coffee chats every other week, we'll do full tutorial on how to get started with Koala Go.
Yeah, awesome. That would be great. And there's some questions about pricing. So Mary said, I see a free plan on the website and Koala Pro. Is Koala Go the same as Koala Pro? I don't actually know that answer.
Yes, it's the same thing. Maybe we need to clarify our wording. Good point. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Koala Pro is the same, yes. So if you go to teachwithkoala.com, that's our website, and you go to pricing, you will see what the price is. So there's a free plan with unlimited classes, unlimited class time. There's no 40-minute limit. There's no number of student limit. So you can start with the free plan. And by the way, on the free plan, you'll get access to all the features for 2 weeks. Koala Pro is $15 per month if you commit to the full year, and it's $19 per month if you pay month by month. And the reason why we had to charge for Koala Pro is because there's a co-browser in Koala Go that allows you to have a browser that you share with your student, and you can both interact, you can both drag and drop components, even if your student is on iPad, and that costs us money to run this shared browser on a server. So that's why we need to charge for it, and you'll have access to other cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does that answer your question?
The confetti reward is like one of my favorite things now about teaching my classes. And I was saying this yesterday in one of the presentations that I wish I had confetti for like the real confetti for when I was giving away prizes.
In
and
life.
I could just like throw up some confetti every time. So that's my students' favorite reward also is the confetti. So
nice. Simple yet powerful.
Yes. So let's see. Shared browser is the best part. Adele is saying it's so fantastic. Do you want to explain a little bit more about what that means, Xavier, for a shared browser and how teachers are using that in their classes?
Absolutely. Maybe I think
you can
a
go
picture is worth 1,000 words. I guess a demo is worth what, 1,000,000 words or something like this?
Yeah. What do you think? Do we want to see that? Should we open up a classroom? I'm here for it.
I'll do it real quick.
I saw a thumbs up. Comment yes.
Cool. So when you're in Koala, you have an interactive whiteboard. I'm not going to get into this. One of the options is indeed the shared browser. So if you click here, it's going to open a shared browser, which is also called a co-browser, which allows you to go anywhere you want. And your student can also click on this. They can interact and they can even drag and drop. So where this is very powerful is that even if your student is on iPad, they can drag and drop components. So for instance, if you teach using Genially, what I'm showing you, by the way, here is our marketplace. If you teach using Genially and you use a slide that has components that you need to drag and drop, let me see if I can find one. I think there is one right here. There we go. You can invite your student will be there with you. And even if they're on iPad, they will be able to drag and drop components from the slides. So it makes things much more interactive. You don't need to give control, and you know that Zoom doesn't really work well for students that have Chromebooks or iPad, but Koala works very well for students who have Chromebooks or iPad. So you can drag and drop components, give control, take control. You can annotate as well. We have a
Yeah.
magic marker, etc.
I feel like the controls for giving students access are a lot easier to turn on and off than when I'm working with a student in Zoom, right? They can keep clicking and taking back control in Zoom, but
Yeah,
in Koala, it's right there. You can push, there's like a little button depending on where you are in the classroom. And this one, it's usually down at the bottom, right?
yeah,
Where you decide to give control.
that's right.
Yeah. So, and I have some students that I have to turn it off like first thing because they just love all the buttons and stuff. And
Yes.
then and I've learned, okay, we have like a doodle page now for that student. He loves to draw and just interact with the buttons. He likes to try the different buttons, make the sticky notes really, really big so they fill the screen, or really, really small, and so we've just built that into our lesson now where we have like a doodle page, and I just allow time for that. That's helped a lot. And then I just turn it off when he's not allowed to.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, teacher controls was something that we didn't have when we launched Koala for the first time, and pretty quickly teachers told us, okay, I really need it. My kids are running around everywhere and just, drawing everywhere. So we learned that the hard way.
Yes, that's true. Let's see. How many or how much of our Koala lessons can be stored for future use?
All of it. All of it.
Yeah. So there's no, like, because there's pages
Right.
within the classroom. So is there a limit to the number of pages? I actually don't know the answer.
No, there's no limit today. Maybe at some point we'll have to introduce a limit, but like, let's say you have this activity, you can save it and you have all your activities saved here. And
Yeah,
there's no limit to the number of pages. Yeah.
For me, I have an activity. When he says your activities, I have one per student. So each one of my independent tutoring students has their own like activity. So then I open up theirs and you can copy and paste things in and out, and add or customize it for that individual student.
Yeah.
There's my confetti that I love so much.
Ashley's favorite feature.
Let's see. I saw another question in there. Someone was asking about, is it for older students too? Does anyone use it with middle school students? Is it too babyish?
Yeah. Middle school students, absolutely. It's being used for kids up to 15, 16. And usually teachers who teach kids, teenager kids, are suspicious on whether Koala will be they're skeptical on whether Koala will be the right tool. But the thing you can do is just at the beginning of the class with them, you can say, hey, do you want to use Koala or do you want to use Zoom, and see what they say. And usually they say Koala.
Yeah, true. Awesome. Let's see. Does it take more bandwidth to have more pages saved?
It's a very good question. Yes. If you have 10 pages, you're okay. But if you start having 60 pages, it will start taking more bandwidth, especially when you connect for the first time. It's going to download the content. So it will be a little bit heavy. So what Ashley does is actually the right thing to do, is save one activity per student and try to stay below 20 pages for optimal stability.
Yes, I even try to cap myself at 10 because I feel like after that it gets a little like unwieldy. But I do like how you can click on like that. Do you see the waffle? Yeah, like up next, that one. Yeah, you can click on that and see all of your pages within your activity. So, if I'm working with that student who likes to doodle and he needs a mid-class break to go draw something, then I can open that and go right back to it instead of having to like click through them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's see. Adele says, make sure you're connected to your page and started before your student comes in. That helps keep it stable. It's a good tip.
Smart.
Yep. And so Xavier is showing us now how you can use the sticky notes. You can type within the sticky notes. You can change the sizes of the sticky notes, the color.
You can lock them.
Yep.
You can even, one thing we're proud of is especially for literacy instructors, is you can make sticky notes clonable. So that way, when students want to spell a word, they don't move your original sticky note. They can just clone them like this. They can spell words that way.
Yep, absolutely. And there was something else. Oh, the sticky notes. You can use them. One thing I'll do is if I'm working on a certain concept, I teach reading and language arts. So say I have a bunch of words that are closed vowels, closed syllables and open. And I'll say like, okay, change all the sticky notes that have a closed vowel to your favorite color. Right. So
Nice.
they go in and they have to change the sticky notes. And the other thing that I like doing on one of like my first lessons when I'm introducing it to them is like just have them try all the things out. And I actually took a picture of the screen and printed it out so I could hold it up and show them like, see this button at the bottom? It looks like this, so they know which one they're clicking on and they pick it up right away. They're so fast.
Nice.
So
nice.
Let's see. So 2 things. Adela asked, what's my favorite tool besides the confetti? And then Lava asked if she can open her mic and ask a question. So yes, you
Please.
absolutely can. And let's see, my favorite tool besides the confetti. That's funny. I mean, I just love the platform in general. I love that I can do all the things that I was doing on Zoom, but better here, and that my students are engaged and they're laughing more and they're saying that was fun. I like class on here, so just as an engagement tool, it's just really changing, for my students. And I'm curious about the playground area that Xavier's showing us now. And that was one of my questions was what's coming for the playground? Because my students are always asking, when is something else going to be in here?
Okay, I'm not really allowed to say it, but just because you guys are so nice and you've been listening to my presentation, I'm gonna tell you what's coming in Playground.
Okay.
First of all, we haven't. So Playground is something that you can use today to have fun with your kids and to bond and to keep them excited about coming back to the next class. And we haven't been adding that many features to Playground because we wanted to focus more initially on the foundation of Koala Go, make it super robust, super stable. There's already a lot of pieces, so it's a lot of work to make it really solid, to make sure your students don't get kicked out, and even if you're on a very poor Wi-Fi, etc. So we've been focusing a lot of our energy on this, but this month we are going to resume working on Playground. What's coming is that today Playground is being used as a brain break, but we want Playground to become more of an inherent part of the classes so that you could actually teach full classes in Playground by dragging and dropping images into Playground. And soon you'll have a little store of assets, of little blocks that you can add. So you can just drag them and drop them, be a little sofa, a little chair, or a little whiteboard, or things like this. And you can start customizing Playground with your students. And we're going to give you gems, which are little currency, an in-app currency that you can give to your students, and they can buy little things in the store, in the asset store. So it's a reward for you, for your students. They get excited. Oh, I have gems, so now they can buy, I don't know, maybe they can buy, let me open Playground again. They can buy a little skin for their avatar. Come on, Playground, go ahead. So they can buy a hat, or they can buy a musical instrument, or they can buy a dance move. And this will get them excited. And the vision that we have for gems is that the goal of Koala is that we make you financially successful. And we know that there's a lot of word of mouth happening between parents. As I was saying earlier, parents ask their friends, hey, do you have a tutor that you would recommend? So what we will soon be doing, I mean, not soon, but what we will be doing at some point, is that students will get gems reward if their parents refer their friends to you. So you can get more customers through word of mouth thanks to Koala Playground, thanks to those gems. That's what's coming.
Absolutely. I love that. I love all those things. Let's see. Okay, go ahead, Lavonda. Your question.
Okay, so
oh no.
Thanks so much. This is great.
Livana, I'm sorry, I don't hear you at all. Is it just me, or are you guys having? No, okay.
Yes, you may have to type your question in the chat, Lava. Your connection is not stable and we can't hear
Livana,
you.
I'm sorry.
Let's see here. What is happening now? We're having all kinds of feedback. So hang on, let me just check the. Wow, I'm not really sure. Zoom is having a moment here. We'll just let it settle. Okay.
Are there tutorials when you purchase? Yes, so there are tutorials whether you purchase or not. You can just go to Teach with Koala /how-to videos. Let me give you the URL. But we are constantly making more videos to walk you through Koala. So I invite you to go to this link. One second. How-to videos, there we go. So I'm going to paste the link here in the chat. This has tons of useful videos to learn how to use Koala Go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And there is lots of is that YouTube? There's a lot on YouTube also.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yeah. So this webpage that I just sent has the best videos, the best YouTube videos embedded on the website.
Okay. I think I might have just muted you, Xavier, on accident. I was trying to.
Oh no, I did it myself.
Okay. We're getting some feedback. All right. So we have just a few more minutes here today. Does anybody else have a question? I do not know what is happening with Zoom. Let's see. Oh, your other question is too long to type. Oh no. For some reason, your signal when you unmute, it's very glitchy, and yeah, we just can't hear you. I apologize. If you want to email me or you have too many tabs open. Oh no, I feel that. All right. So any other questions then for Xavier before we wrap up today? Yeah, Mary, go ahead.
So after you do a lesson, I like the kids to have homework, so to speak, things they can work on through the week. Is there anything like that in Koala?
Not yet, Mary. But that's in our roadmap. Yeah. So we would want. Does that mean you would want them to have access to the platform, to Koala, while you're away?
Yes. So for example, if I'm teaching short vowels, then I would create some content that they could work on during the week.
Yeah. We don't have that today. Today,
that's for Koala, the future.
Right, for the future.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. For the future, we will give you the ability for students to join Koala, to join your classroom and get access to your content when you're not here. One thing I need to figure out also is that we're very mindful about student safety as well. So we've taken the easy route where we always want a teacher to be present when a student is in Koala, so that you don't have situations where somebody else comes in. So I need to figure that out as well on how we keep protecting students by doing this. I'm sure it's a fairly easy problem to solve, but we haven't thought too much about it yet. But this is on our roadmap.
I was wondering if there would be a waiting room type feature possibly coming down the line, because when I'm in a class, in a session with a student, I have one right after, they might try to join early, which you let the student in or not, so you can accept or reject, yes. Which always sounds so harsh. But yes. I wish there was a little bit of a waiting room or something, because sometimes what happens when you click reject on their end? What do they see? Yeah,
so right now on on the left part of my screen, I'm the teacher, right? And I'm in my classroom and I invite a student. So I click on invite student and then share this link with your student. This is my student invite link. I just copy it and I send it to my student. And here on the right side, let's say your student joins. So they click on the link. Here's a student, Xav is joining. So the first thing that on the teacher side, as soon as this happens, the student is in the waiting room right now. You get a notification, student Xav would like to join, and you accept or reject. And in the waiting room for the kid, they are playing this little game. They have a message, your teacher will let you in shortly. They can click on little emojis and get points. It's a very basic game to keep them patient. And by the way, this is showing up in their language. So if the student is in China, this message will be in Chinese. And if you click on accept, they will come in. And your question, Ashley, was what happens if I click on reject?
Yes. What does the student see?
If you click on reject, the student sees
Nothing.
the teacher is busy now, try again later.
Okay.
So it's not that harsh.
No, it's not. And that gives them some kind of explanation or something as to what is happening.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay. I think, whoops, I see some more questions. I will go ahead and share that link again. Thank you, Adele. I've been using, like I said, I've been using the platform in one variation or another for over the last year. So I'm a big fan.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. Sorry, quite a few came in here. Okay, so let me go back up. Someone was asking, someone commented, one of their favorite things is that if you have a tech issue in class, Fred or someone else from the team will actually join your class and help you solve the issues. Yeah. You have a pretty small team over there, right? But
right.
Mighty.
Yeah, pretty small team. We are 10 people, but we have people all over the world, in Ghana, in Laos, in the Philippines, in the US. So that allows us to be able to offer 24/7 live support. So when you're in Koala, in the bottom right, you see a little help icon. Click on the help icon and there will be another person on the other end, because we know how important it is when you have tech issues to have somebody live, where you're in the middle of a class, the parent is paying you, you're panicking. We got you, we got your back. There's going to be somebody on the other end 24/7, not an AI, a real person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And I know when I was having trouble getting set up, when I first started, I actually got on a Zoom with someone from your team and they walked me through all the tech issues, and looked at my internet and upload and download. It was very, very hands-on support. So I was super impressed then, and continue to be.
Thank you.
So let's see. Is this Android compatible? Yes.
Android tablets, yes. Android phones, not yet.
Yes.
If you think that we should work on Android phone support, let us know. We think it's too small, and we think most kids don't take classes from their Android phones, but I know it's not true in some countries. So please let us know if it's important for you and we can prioritize it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I almost never have a student take a class on their phone unless they're in the car, which never goes well anyway, with regardless of what platform we're on, right? But
this is what we've learned, Ashley, is that it's not the case in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's not the case in Jamaica, where in schools often kids' smartphone are their work device, their school device is a smartphone. So if it's important for you, please let us know, and we can work on that. We can make it happen.
Interesting. Adele asked, how do you remove a student when their time is up? And you just updated this.
We just added this feature. Let me show you.
So good.
All right, so let's do this again. So I invite a student, copy this link. I'm going to create another page for the student. ask to join. I will accept. On the teacher side, I'm going to mute myself to avoid a horrible echo. There's too many of me on your screen right now. And the question was, how do you kick out a student? So on the teacher side, you see on the left is a teacher screen. You have this button that says remove student. So if I click here, yeah, there's a way, it will ask you, would you like to remove the student because class is over, or would you like the student to instantly rejoin? So here, class is over. Goodbye.
And the instantly rejoin feature might be if you're having some kind of tech, and you want to refresh for some reason.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bad connection. Yeah.
Right.
I was really happy to see that. Before that, I would just turn off my video. I think someone actually suggested that in the Koala group. They said, just turn off your video and audio and refresh the page. So
yeah, that's a very, very smart thing to do. Yeah.
That worked well.
By the way, the help icon that we talked about earlier is here. So you click on help and you say, hello. Can anyone help me? And we'll see if anybody is actually, if I was lying or not. Is there anybody else on the other end? We'll see.
I love it. Let's see. There's the chat is like fire here. So I'm trying to connect with you.
Please go ahead.
Let's see. Is there a video chat component within Koala, or would you need to pair it with something like Zoom? So it's right in Koala.
Yeah, it's right here. So you see that my video is showing up on the left, and as soon as you have a student that joins, their video shows up as well.
Now we have 3 of you here between Zoom and 2 there. Yeah, awesome. So no, it's right in there. Let's see. Let me go down here. Does video and mics that you can turn the cameras on or off? Yes. So the controls are right there above his head. You can see the teacher side. You'll be able to see the mute button and the video. You can change. So you can, if you use a document camera, you can use that settings cog to toggle between your webcam and your document camera. So I do that. Sometimes I like that feature. You can also do full screen. So Xavier, maybe if you show them. So if I'm using my document camera, I'll click that. So it opens us up, fills the screen.
That is
so
4 of me. Good Lord.
So they're not distracted, right? And then I can use my document camera and we can work on handwriting, or if I'm trying to show them something, underneath, or some other, I don't know, whatever you use the document camera for. I feel like math teachers maybe use it more than me, but let's see. Tutorials in the classroom. I feel like the community is great about helping other teachers get started because we're all just so jazzed up about the platform. So we're happy to bring on newbies.
Yes.
Let's see, the addition of removing the child. Let's see if I missed you. I'm trying to scroll here. Pairing. Okay, so you can have Lavonda. That was my question about the pairing. So I can have class, right? So you don't need Zoom, you don't need Skype, you don't need any other video. Like everything is right within Koala. And there was been some, Adele's been helping answer questions in there too. Thank you so much, Adele, and a few other people about the links. So that you have a link for your space and you use the same link every time.
Exactly. So as a teacher, you have this button here that says invite students. Click on it, and it says share this link with your student. This is your unique link, your unique invite link. It never changes. It's the same for all of your students. That's your invite link. You can save it somewhere. It will never change. So you click on it and it will copy it to clipboard, save it somewhere, or this is something that you can include in your calendar, for instance. If you send a calendar event, you can, invite people, just put it as the description, put this link, and people just click on it. And the beauty of it is that they click on it and it will open directly. They will join your classroom.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And yes, Joanne, it's the same link for all of your students. That's right. And it's unique. It's just your link. Nobody else has that link.
Yes.
No other teacher has that link.
Great. Awesome. Well, this has been wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on and joining us live this afternoon. It really has been a privilege to have you, Xavier, to be able to get all of our questions answered and just hear more about the passion economy. I think we're all, like you said, we had a big goal here at the summit of reaching over 1,000 educators to come in and participate in the summit. And we are past that now and still rolling. People are still joining the summit.
Congratulations.
So, big thank you for me, for you all being here, and for Xavier for agreeing to come and do this with us. I'm just thrilled. It's just awesome. So yeah, big thank you to you, Xavier.
Thank you all for attending, and thank you, Ashley, for everything you're doing for teachers.
Yes, of course. All right, everyone. We hope you have a great rest of your day today. Enjoy those presentations that are lined up for day 3 and day 4, and we'll see you again in the Facebook group. All right, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.